All right, got a request to do fast food restaurants tier list. This one looked like a pretty good tier list that I found pretty quick, so I think this one will work. And the categories are pretty good as well. So they've got the best B, C, D, F, never had. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have some never hads. There's always some, especially on like the West Coast, that I haven't had. Yeah, F would mean that I just like wouldn't eat it. I've had it and it's terrible. D would be like last resort. Fine, I'll eat it. C is okay, sure, why not? B are pretty good, and then the best would be the favorites. I might change the names because B I'll probably say are like good. I don't know that fast food's really good, but more I'd get them, but they're not my like all-time favorite. But we'll figure it out and make sure we get the labels right. Then at the end, I will order them, rank them. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little cleaning out. So it looks like they got a pretty good list of the never hads. Um, so Baja Fresh, I have never had. Blimpie, I've had. Bojangles, I have had. Boston Market, I've had. So Carl's Jr.'s, Hardee's, Checkers, Israelis, Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, Church's Chicken I've never had. Cookout I've never had. Culver's I've had. Del Taco not had. Denny's is considered fast food, I guess. I haven't had it in a while. Oh, have I had El Pollo Loco? I feel like I might have had it. If I did, I don't remember. It might have been in like an airport or something. Five Guys, IHOP, In and Out. If I had Jack in the Box, I don't remember it. If I did, I don't want to rate it if I don't really know it. Jersey Mike's, okay. Jollibee, never heard of that. KFC, yes, of course. Little Caesars, Long John's, McDonald's, Moe's. Um, Noodles and Company. We had a noodles place around here that I had, but I don't know if it was Noodles and Company. I won't attribute that to Noodles and Company. Panda Express, yes. Panera, yes. Papa John's, PDQ, nope, never heard of that one. Penn Station, Pizza Hut, Popeyes, Portillo's. Don't think so. I have to think if I've like had it in, like I said, an airport or something at some point, because sometimes we'll just like grab hot dogs or hamburgers from like West Coast airport or something. All right, Qdoba, Quiznos. I don't even know Quiznos is still around. Maybe it's a little older. Roy Rogers has been around 50 years, but I don't think I've had it. Sbarro, Schlotsky's, yes. Shake Shack. I don't think so. Sheets, never heard of that. Skyline, Sonic, Steak and Shake, Subway, Swenson's. I'm also trying to make sure they're not named something different on the East Coast, like Checkers and Hardee's, or Checkers, Rallies, Carl's Jr. Hardee's. Taco Bell, Taco Cabana, I don't think so. Torchy's Tacos, a lot of taco places. Waffle House, yes. Wawa, no. Wendy's, Whataburger. I know Whataburger. I don't think I've had a Whataburger. White Castle, yes. Wiener Schnitzel, no. Wings Over, no. Wingstop, yes. Zaxby's, yes. Okay, so I think this gets us to the list. I'm not sure how many that is left, maybe 50 or so. So, okay, the best. I'll just change like beach here to say good. C to be okay. D, not my favorite. F is bad. And now we have never hads. So, all right, A&W. So A&W, obviously root beer famous. Tended to be like the times that I've had it lately is when it's like in one of those dual restaurants with like a KFC or a Long John Silver or something like that. And oftentimes I would get the other thing. But I like A&W. I like the root beer, okay, but their burgers are pretty good and their fries are pretty good. I like them. Like if you saying there's an A&W there, I would eat it and be like, oh, okay, the burger's gonna be good, so I'll probably like that. And as always, I might adjust these up or down as I get them aligned with each other. Arby's. Uh, so Arby's, I had a ton growing up. It was one of those fast food restaurants that you like really rely on coupons. I just from I mean from the day I was like young to today, it's like you get a sheet and it's like, oh good, I get to get five roast beef sandwiches or like a meal for $5.99 or something back in the day. It's probably like $12.99 now. Um, but I used to get just this, I was a roast beef sandwich guy. I was more the Arby sauce person for a long time, but I became an Arby's and horsey sauce on the roast beef. And then they have the curly fries, which when you get good Arby's curly fries are great. And then I also every now and then would get a shake there, and it'd be fine. I liked it. So Arby's is going to be in one of my the best, I think. Could move, but in that top tier likely. All right, Blimpie. Blimpie, I haven't had a lot. I think we had one eventually, and it was after I'd already moved a bit, but where I was from growing up, and then maybe had a couple of other times. It's a sandwich shop. It says America's Sub Shop. It wasn't my favorite. I don't remember it being more than just bland. I'll have it as a not my favorite. I wouldn't say it was bad. Like I don't remember eating it and being like, this was terrible. I'm never eating here again. But I didn't really care for it to eat it much more. All right, Bojangles. I haven't had Bojangles a lot. I didn't have it growing up or anything. It's not like the first chicken place I'd go to. I'm not sure there's many, if any, around here. Uh, I did make sure when I did go to get the biscuits because it's like chicken and biscuits kind of deal. And Bojangles was okay. It wasn't my favorite. I didn't like miss it, not being around or anything. So I'll just have it as okay. Boston Market rotisserie chicken. I'm not a big rotisserie chicken person. And I think the few times that I've had Boston Market have been that, but it's also one of those places I don't think to stop into. If I see a Boston Market, it's just like, okay, I guess we'll eat it if it's the only thing available. But I'm not a big like rotisserie chicken, just sandwich type person. So I'd have Boston Market as not my favorite. It might be good for people who like that kind of food, but it's not my favorite. Or maybe there's stuff on the menu that I'd like that I just never had. All right, Burger King. Some of the challenge with these is like they've changed a bit over time. Prices and things make things different, but growing up, I had a perspective of them that now I may change a little bit. Burger King was always a kind of secondary McDonald's growing up. I don't know that we even had one where I was growing up. I don't remember there being one, so I'm pretty sure the answer was no. But it was like not far, where you could get to a Burger King and have a Burger King, or if you were in a big city, get Burger King. But they're famous for the Whopper, obviously, and then their the way that I kind of saw it was their burgers were better and their fries were not as good. But I did like the burger a lot. It was a little like A&W to me, so I would have it up in the good category. I haven't been there a lot lately. If the quality suffered, or like the fries got soggy, or the burger's not as good, then that could fall down. But at least from what I remember of it, like if I was driving by a Burger King today on the road, I wouldn't hesitate to stop and say, "Oh yeah, I like Burger King." Raising Canes. Raising Canes is pretty popular around here. I always see it pretty packed when I drive by, and I have not had it much. I've only had it a few times. My family, when they come up from Georgia, really wants Raising Canes. So we will go there every now and then just for like the little stop in fast food. Um, It's okay. It's not my favorite. I know they have like special sauce and all this other stuff. It's not one that I would like pick for a chicken place over some of the others, and I know some people would 100% put that number one of their chicken places, but it's not my favorite. All right, Carl's Jr. So this is Hardee's. Hardee's we did have growing up. I liked Hardee's a lot. I didn't really have like Hardee's breakfast all that much, which is a factor for some of these. I liked the burger. I liked the fries. It was a little comparable to Burger King for me. But I liked Hardee's okay. I don't know that it was my favorite, but I'd have it as good. I did like to go there, and it was a good burger. Fries I don't remember a lot about, but they seem to be kind of Burger King like. Rallies, man. First thing that comes to my head with a Checkers or Rallies is greasy. Like the burger would be a little greasy, the fries would be greasy. Had one where I was growing up, and I liked it. I did. I mean, it probably would kill me now or like taste really greasy or whatever now because I don't eat all that much greasy food like that. But the fries were good. They had the like seasoned fries, and the burgers growing up were good. I'd get a shake there that was pretty good. I'd have it as like my okay category. It wouldn't be what I would pick because even when I got a little bit older, like college age or so, it wasn't my go-to. I'd like kind of drive past it to get to something else, and it's like, oh, if that place is full, I guess I'll get Rallies, and no, it's okay. The burger's fine, and the fries are okay. So, or the fries are pretty good, I should say. But yeah, I'll have Checkers there. All right, Chick Fil A. Chick Fil A is very popular. Chick Fil A is big where my family lives down in Georgia. I think that's where it's headquartered. Obviously, got them up here, closed on Sundays. They are really smart about that because I find myself never getting Chick-fil-A, and then like Sunday rolls around, I'm like, oh man, Chick-fil-A sounds good today. They create like this false scarcity in your head. I know it's religious and stuff, but uh, that's like the one day. That said, if I am around and I'm just not super close to an easy to get to Chick-fil-A, I like Chick-fil-A. I like the Chick-fil-A sandwich. I like the fries. I would get like every now and then like chicken noodle soup from there or something. Shake. There's other stuff on the menu that I like. And then in the morning, chicken minis for breakfast. If you get good chicken minis, I really like. So I like Chick-fil-A a lot. I would eat it multiple times, like within a week. That's some of this too. Like Arby's, I should have said I can eat more than just the roast beef at Arby's. I like their chicken tenders. I like their fish. They have maybe my best fish sandwich during the Lent season. At least they used to. I haven't really had it in the last year or two. But yeah, I like that. A little bit of variance in what I can eat. I know Chick Fil A is more just chicken, but I do like their chicken enough where I can eat it multiple times. All right, Chipotle into the kind of fast food Mexican grill chains with Qdoba and Moe's and others. Um, so I do go to Chipotle a decent amount. It's like downtown, so when I'm at work, every now and then I'll stop in to get Chipotle. I vary what I get across these different Mexican grills. For example, I'll get like brown rice in one place, white rice in another place, queso somewhere, not others, onions and peppers, that kind of thing. So Chipotle is usually like a chicken bowl with onions and peppers, cheese, medium salsa, that kind of thing. So I tame it down a little bit at Chipotle. But I like Chipotle. I do. I enjoy it. I go there for a reason. I don't go there just there's nothing else to eat. So I will say that it's pretty good. And what I'll look for too as I do this, because I'm going to maybe have a decent amount in good, I might shift them down into another category if I figure out what that needs to be. Maybe these are like okay, and then there's like a great and a good. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Culver's. I didn't even know what the hell Culver's really was until I was dragged to a Culver's, I don't know, 4 years ago. It's kind of like Steak and Shake. And Culver's was good. I liked Culver's. I thought their burgers were good, the fries were good, the shakes were good. I don't eat there much. It's not convenient to get to. Probably expensive these days. Everything is, but I liked Culver's as well. I would probably have it in my good category. If somebody said we're going to Culver's, I'd be like, yeah, there's plenty I can get there. So that's fine. Denny's. I don't know if I'd throw Denny's in the fast food world, but I guess it could. I have not had Denny's in a very long time, but Denny's was pretty important growing up. So we started with a restaurant called Jerry's. There's a Jerry's here in Louisville. There was. I think it finally closed, but Denny's replaced it where I was from in Jasper, and I liked Jerry's, and then Denny's came, and I was like, I don't know about this, but they had the Grand Slam breakfast. It was like kind of cool, and that's when baseball was actually somewhat popular. And so they had a lot on the menu. It was nice to go to. I liked having that kind of breakfast. I'm still a breakfast guy. I can go, pancakes, bacon, sausage, eggs, eat a bunch of breakfast. And so Denny's is good. I like Denny's. Now, if you said, oh, Denny's sucks today, I would understand. But Denny's was also one of those things like in college that was open super late. And so, one of the, oh, we can go to Denny's after, 2 in the morning. So Denny's gets a little credit for that as well. Domino's Pizza. I have not had Domino's in a long time. I mean, probably too long because I grew up eating a lot of Domino's pizza. Um, Probably just a matter of convenience. I don't really know where the one is around here. I should probably just look that up. But I liked Domino's for a long time. We used to get the thin crust a lot growing up. My family liked the thin crust. We would get thick crust at other places, but then there, and I liked it. I can't. It was more just like we have a coupon to get Domino's this week, and next week we might get one for somewhere else. So Domino's was good, and I'm starting to see that I'm gonna have to split these categories because these will be different. But yeah, so Domino's is up there. All right, Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen was an important place for me growing up. We had a Dairy Queen in Jasper, like something called the Y, where two roads came together and became a road to downtown. But it was close to our school, or one of them, and that was often a place like I'd go. My mom would take me afterward. I'd get like a hot dog and a cone or a Misty. It was like a Mr. Misty at the time, or a Blizzard. Uh, Chocolate covered cone was often the thing I'd go with when I was a kid. But it was really good. I loved Dairy Queen. And, I probably got to like college or so and just missed it, didn't have it for a long time. That said, I eat a lot of Dairy Queen now. And too much Dairy Queen, but they have the $7 meal deal where you can get a chicken box, three-piece chicken with fries, and you can upscale for a Blizzard, or you can just get a sundae with it and a drink. They've kind of kept that pretty consistent throughout the price hikes and everything going on. So maybe some of my some days where I would have gone somewhere else, they can kind of drag me back in because they also have the burger to do that with, and I do like the burger. They can be a little inconsistent sometimes, just depending on the Dairy Queen you have, but I think that applies to most of these. But you might get some inconsistency in like the fries and like how much they give you, or how big the chicken is, or if it's too salty or not salty enough. You might have a Blizzard that's a little runny, though they try to do the turn it upside down thing. But for the most part, it's good. Like I much more often than not get what I am supposed to get, and I like their service and everything's good. So Dairy Queen is in one of the best. Uh, all right, Firehouse subs. I didn't really have Firehouse subs much, and I'd heard like, it's okay, it's not very good. It's just one of the, you know, Jersey Mike's, all that stuff. And the only time I started to go there, I'd play in like a league for my basketball team, and on the way home, there would be a Fazoli's, which isn't on this list. Fazoli's, which isn't on this list. Fazoli's should be on this list. And I can speak to Fazoli's right after this one. But Firehouse Subs is better than I thought. I stopped in one day because Fazoli's was full, and so I went across the street. And Firehouse was I got like what did I get? Like an Italian maybe or meatball, something like that. And then the next time I went, because I did the same thing, I got a like Philly cheesesteak. Both were good. I was like, these are better than most. And what it reminded me of was more like Quiznos, in terms of what Quiznos probably used to be. But Firehouse was good. I liked Firehouse. So I'd have it in probably this lower part of the good category once we figure that out. All right. Five Guys. Five Guys is pretty popular. You go in, you get the burger, you got the fries. There's not really a meal. They can give you a lot, but it's expensive. And they kind of do the smash burger type thing. And I am not a huge fan of Five Guys. It's okay, but it's overrated to me. So I'm going to say it's okay. Um, if you tell me we're going there and it's like, oh, are you going to be okay? Of course I'm going to, it's a burger and fries. That's pretty good. So that's fine, but it's just not my favorite. Okay, before I go on, so we don't have Fazoli's in here, but Fazoli's would be up towards the best for me. It's maybe just more local and not as many of them now. I don't know. But it's Italian. And so Fazoli's would be like a top, probably five for me. They have meals where you can get like, baked ziti or spaghetti or whatever. And plus you get the breadsticks, which to me are just as good, if not better than like an Olive Garden. And then I could get like a salad with it or something else. So, and a drink. So Fazoli's is definitely up there, even though it's not necessarily on this list. Okay, IHOP. I haven't had IHOP a lot. Not, I don't really go out for breakfast stuff. When I do, it's like with the family. I'll be, out on vacation or something. So IHOP I have been to a few times. It's like a Denny's to me. I don't know that there's anything that differentiates it in my head to say like, oh my gosh, IHOP is so good. But I do like the breakfast, and it is good. The times I've gone, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll go to IHOP. Like it's kind of a good breakfast place. I have no problem with it, so I'll have it in that category for now. Right, In-N-Out Burger. I've only had this a couple times. I made a point to go get it when I was in California a couple times, and so uh, In-N-Out Burger, more or less famous for me growing up because it was in the Big Lebowski, and then you hear about it. It's a little culturally relevant, but In-N-Out Burger is fine. I kind of thought it was okay. It wasn't my favorite. Um, Burger was fine. Fries were okay, but I wouldn't say like, oh, I'd rather eat an In-N-Out burger than a Burger King. I didn't come out of there thinking that, and it's just like, yeah, okay. Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's is kind of like Blimpie to me. Some people like it a lot, and I think it's probably there's some sandwiches that I just haven't had there. I haven't eaten it a lot. Didn't have it growing up. Haven't been around it that much. Like I'm sure if I try something different, but oftentimes these sandwich places, it's like okay, if I try their Philly cheesesteak, or if I try their meatball, or if I try their turkey, whatever. How does it stack up? And Jersey Mike's is not my favorite. They've got some like sauces and things that I don't care for as much, so I'm gonna have them in my not my favorite section. Jimmy John's, get Jimmy John's a decent amount. It's pretty bare bones to me. Like you're not paying for like a super sophisticated sandwich, but that's the point. It's the bread is what's really good, and then deli meats and stuff are just they're deli meats, pretty standard. Mayo on a lot of things that I get. I'll get like a turkey with lettuce and mayo and cheese. Usually whole tomato. I'm not a huge tomato fan. But Jimmy John's is good. I like Jimmy John's. If I just need a sandwich. Now, could I say, am I getting like a lot of value for the price? I don't know. I mean, it's a little bit longer of a sandwich, but it's not like most of them. I don't get the big versions where they stack a bunch of stuff, but those are pretty expensive. All right, Kentucky Fried Chicken. This is one of those places. So from Louisville, or live in Louisville now. KFC's here. Very popular, famous. Didn't have it growing up in the town I was in. It was in the town next to us. So every now and then when we go like to a basketball game or something out of town, we go to KFC, and I liked it. And the things I remember about it more growing up is one, the buckets of chicken, and then like uh, mashed potatoes and gravy. And for some reason, those were the things that stuck in my head. But I didn't have it a lot. And then I got to college. I don't know that I even ate it a lot then because I didn't really like leave campus a bunch to like go get food. So until I like got past that part and KFC was just part of like, on the way to work or out, I didn't really have it a lot. But I did like KFC at that point. I started to get like similar to Dairy Queen, a 3 tender basket. Oftentimes I'd get the mashed potatoes and gravy. Then they have a biscuit in there, and they used to have a chocolate chip cookie, which was pretty good. It was pretty good. They had, I mean, it's small, but it was pretty soft, and I like the softer cookies. So KFC was good, came with a drink, and I've had it a little bit since, and it's still pretty good. It's still good. Like I would say, yeah, I'm gonna have KFC. Had it at the last airport I went to. Line was moving slow. They gave me a 3-piece chicken box. I got 5 pieces of chicken in there. So hey, whatever. Uh, so yeah, like KFC. Little Caesars. Some people love Little Caesars. Had Little Caesars growing up. The pepperoni. I think they had pepperoni crust for a while, or pepperoni breadsticks, I think. Little Caesars was not my favorite though. I did not like the pizza, did not like the breadsticks. I don't know. I mean, as I talk through these, I'm like, are any of them really going to be bad? I don't know. So we'll see. But Little Caesars is not my favorite. It's kind of getting close to the bad. But I think if I had it today, and I have a less discerning palate now that I'm older, like I would be like, oh yeah, Little Caesars is fine. It's better than I thought, or I just don't. But the one I had growing up, it tasted like cardboard, legit. Like I was just like, this thing is bland. And granted, this was 30 years ago, so probably changed. But yeah, that was the sentiment there. Long John Silver's used to be owned by Yum Brands. Used to have one pretty close to here. Had a Long John Silver's growing up that was very weird because it took over a building that was not a restaurant, and the direction of the drive-through was the wrong direction. And what that meant is that as you were driving, the passenger side is what faced the window. No joke. Like they had it coming in the wrong way. They changed it eventually, I think. But I remember, pulling up, and it's like, and if you didn't have somebody there, you're not reaching to get your stuff. But anyway, Long John Silver's was good. They had the 2 fish meal. They had hush puppies, the fries, etc. There's still a few around. I will make a point to get off on the exit that has Long John Silver's on the way to driving to see family, or if I'm out in a different part of town and the one Long John Silver's is still open, is there. I have no idea why this thing didn't make it. Like I'd be curious of their business model and why they failed, because man, it is good. I know it's not on the list. We have Captain D's around here. Captain D's is not my favorite compared to it, but I've got Long John's up in my best section. Captain D's would have been in my okay section, probably. Some of that's just like that. This isn't as good as Long John Silver's. Same with Moby Dick. So Moby Dick is not on here, but Moby Dick it's okay. Like some people will be like, oh no, it's really good. It's okay. I've had it. It's not my favorite. Well, I shouldn't say that. It is okay. It would be in my okay section. All right, McDonald's. Man, this one's tough because McDonald's was critical for every kid my age growing up, probably still. You had the Happy Meals, obviously, bothered your parents to go get the toys. I still have a whole bin of McDonald's toys, like a huge bin. That's how many times I went to McDonald's. McDonald's used to be awesome. So we had a playground outside that was like the old school wood and metal playground, feel free to get a splinter and fall off the jungle gym playground, where you could climb and do stuff. And we would just spend a lot of time there. I mean, you'd go get your food, you sit there, or we'd do the drive-through. But also, especially when I was young, because I didn't have a really good palate, or I didn't eat a lot. I'd be the kid that got the hamburger and took one bite out of the hamburger. But then I got to the point where I wanted it and I wanted the food and I liked the burger. I liked the fries. The fries were the best. Crispy, hot, salted just right. Burgers were good. Quarter pounder was my favorite. I've been priced out since of the quarter pounder, but I like the chicken McNuggets too. They have the whole, the mascots and everything with the Hamburglar commercials, Ronald McDonald, Grimace, Grimacy. Was that the guy? I'm just kidding. St. Patrick's guy nobody remembers. So yeah, McDonald's I like. Now McDonald's today, I don't go to McDonald's for dinner food or like lunch and dinner. I've had it a few times and it just, for the price, is not worth it for me. Like, oh, I'm going to get 10-piece nuggets for $11. No. I'm going to get a 2 crappy cheeseburger meal for $10. No. Quarter pounder, $12. It's too high and it needs to come back down for me to like go back. The one thing I will get at McDonald's and then I do like at McDonald's is the breakfast. So they have usually I'll just get like a sausage biscuit. They have Krispy Kreme donuts around here, which is great. I'll get a hash brown, but then I'll also sometimes get the big breakfast with hotcakes where you get the pancakes, you get the hash brown, you get the eggs, you get the sausage biscuit. So it's got it all. And the hash brown as well. And a coffee. Their coffee's not great, but it's not terrible. Like some people say, oh, I can't drink McDonald's coffee. I like McDonald's coffee more than I like Starbucks coffee. Starbucks is bitter. It's not good. It's overrated. It costs way too much. So I'd rather have a cheap McDonald's coffee than that. Just me. So McDonald's, I'm going to ding just a little bit. I'm going to have it in the good, but I'm not going to, again, go all the time. So I'll figure out where I slot it, but it's a little tough today with just where the pricing and quality is. All right, Moe's. I just had Moe's the other day for the first time in a while. And I used to eat it a pretty good bit. It was closer to where I used to live. And I'd go to Moe's a decent amount after the gym. And love Moe's because they give you chips and salsa. There I'll get like adobo chicken burrito with usually brown rice and onions and peppers, no queso. I don't even think I get salsa on it. I think I just get cheese there. So Moe's I like. Moe's I'll have in the good section as well. Panda Express, Chinese. I like Chinese. I'm a Chinese fan. I go to some local, Chinese restaurants that all are somewhat similar. Panda Express is maybe the more fast food chain version of it. I don't like Panda Express. I've had it a few times. I've tried to like it, and it just, I'm like, I'd rather go to any other Chinese place than Panda Express. Maybe that would change one day if I tried something different, but it's just not my favorite. All right, Panera bread. I used to like Panera a decent amount, not a lot, but it was okay. Had one downtown, would go during work at lunch, would get like a choose two meal, and it was, not huge portions, so it was kind of more, okay, I'm trying not to eat a ton. I'm gonna get like a soup and a sandwich, and they give you the bread. The bread's usually kind of hard. Panera has like increased in price. They have made even their portions even smaller. It is not somewhere I would go. If somebody's like, we're gonna go to Panera, I'm like, let's not waste our money. Let's go somewhere else. It's not terrible to me. Like I wouldn't say, oh my gosh, I can't eat it. But I'd say right now it's like in my not my favorite category. Papa John's. Papa John's is an interesting one. So Papa John's was Louisville. Papa John got fired from Louisville, the Louisville place, and that was a huge deal here. Papa John's is probably not the highest quality pizza now. I can eat it. It's fine. Like I might get it every now and then because it's not too far from here. And if I just need to get a pizza or something to feed a few people, like it's doable. But Papa John's growing up was awesome. So we had like a shopping chain that was Walmart on one end, or grocery store on the other end. That's when they were separate. There was no like super Walmart at the time. I remember we had an ice cream place, and the next to it was the Papa John's, and we were like, "What's Papa John's? It's a new place." Walked in, you could sit down and eat in a Papa John's. There was a jukebox in the Papa John's that was lit up and everything. It was super cool, and the pizza was really good. Like the first Papa John's was really good, and they just have seemingly, and maybe I'm misremembering. If I went back and ate it today, I'd be like, "Oh no, it's actually the same." I don't think so though. I think it was better. So Papa John's, I will have in my okay bucket. Um, I think I like Domino's more for the most part. But yeah, I'll have Papa John's there. Now that said, I tried it the first time when they came out with like the papadillas or whatever, the like the little quesadilla, but it's a pizza type thing. It was okay. It was pretty good compared to what I would thought, but it's pretty inconsistent. I had it again the next time and it was like a little harder and all this other stuff. So I was like, yeah, so it's okay. It's not as good as I thought. All right, Penn Station. I had a Penn Station down where I used to live, and Penn Station I liked a lot. I used to go there a decent amount. It's pretty expensive, but I wouldn't get, usually not get fries. I would just get the sandwich. Um, Philly cheesesteak for the most part there, but I liked Penn Station. It was one of my more favorite sub places. It does remind me a little of Firehouse, but probably I'll like it a little bit better once we figure that out. Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut pizza was never my favorite. Going to Pizza Hut was awesome. So Pizza Hut, we had a Pizza Hut, and Pizza Hut's where you go in, you sit down. It had the cool booths with the cool lights. You had a game or two, arcade game or two. They, had the pizza trays come out and serve you and everything. So I loved going to Pizza Hut. The pizza itself was not my favorite. Like if you're ordering out, right, or having them deliver, I wouldn't say get Pizza Hut over Domino's. I don't know if I would have said it over Papa John's. That said, I haven't had it in a long time. Like any time within the last, I don't know, five years or so. And if that, I had it once before, for a while, which it was fine. It was good. So I'll have it in the okay category as well. But it wasn't like special for anything. Popeyes. Been to Popeyes a couple times. Popeyes is okay to me. It is not like KFC to me. Some people would swear that Popeyes is better. I would understand. It's a little bit of a different taste in chicken. But I'd have it in my okay category. If you said we have to stop at Popeyes on the way, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I get the chicken basket and stuff. It's fine. Potbelly. Potbelly, we have one downtown. I will eat there every now and then. When Potbelly first opened, we went and tried it, and I thought it was very bland. I was like, okay, this is kind of going back to that cardboard taste of like a Blimpie or Panera or something. And I was like, yeah, it is not my favorite. I think it got better. I've been back a few times, and like it's not that it's fundamentally changed, but I don't know, either the consistency of the bread or the sauces. There was more flavor. Maybe I changed a bit of what I was getting. I get like a meatball there that's pretty good. So I would have Potbelly in my okay section. I wouldn't say not my favorite anymore. They've moved up to where I get them and usually why I'm at Potbelly is if I'm like trying to go somewhere and it's a little full and I'm like, okay, well Potbelly's not that full, but sometimes Potbelly's full. So all right, Qdoba. Uh, I should have said too, like all these Mexican places I didn't have growing up. Like there was not Mexican food other than maybe Taco Bell uh, back then. And so like I don't know what we ate otherwise um, until we got like real Mexican food, which we finally did get at like a restaurant that people love that's local. But yeah, didn't have those things. So like more around college and even after college is probably when I started eating these. And Qdoba was the first one that I remember eating at. And that's where the queso was so good. It was like, okay, I'm gonna get burrito, I'm gonna get chicken, queso. Still to this day, I like Qdoba. It's a little expensive, but I'll have it in my good category. It's up there with the others. They bring different things. I probably couldn't eat any of them multiple times in a week, but I could maybe eat one and the other a couple times a week because they taste just a little different to me, or a different flavor enough in what I get. Quiznos. Again, Quiznos is probably gone. Might be pocketed here and there. I used to eat Quiznos a lot. Some guys I work with, we would go to lunch and we would go to Quiznos multiple times a week. Um, we knew after a while, I actually just like randomly met the guy who was the franchise owner of it, and it was cool to get to know him because we got to talk about the franchise and the corporation and all the crap they had to deal with and go with, and he kind of witnessed it as it made it downfall, and then at COVID it finally closed. But I really liked Quiznos for a while. I would get like a toasted, whatever sub, depending. I'd probably get roast beef was maybe my favorite there. Then turkey and other stuff. But chili, they had good chili that I would get. And I miss Quiznos. I wish it was still around. It did start to suffer a little bit. And what happened was they kept like the corporate entity kept changing their menu like every other day, trying stuff. And like, here's a lobster sandwich. What the hell? No one wants a lobster sandwich. What are you talking about? And they would replace like something we liked, and you just want to beat those people over the head and be like, guys, you were screwing up the business. So anyway, Quiznos was good in its prime when I liked it, but I don't think it's right. Plus, to give a little bit of credit, how weird and stupid were those old Hamster or Gerbil or whatever the hell commercials where they would just sing the Quiznos sub song? Super bizarre. Back in the day, we actually had real commercials, but yeah, I liked them for some reason. Kind of catchy. All right, Sbarro. Sbarro starts out on a low note because it replaced a place called, I think, Picnic Pizza in Eastland Mall in Evansville, which was our favorite place to go get pizza growing up. It was just a smaller chain or whatever, but then it finally went under, and then Sbarro came in, and obviously Sbarro is much more popular, more famous, and it's good. I don't have a problem with Sbarro now, but that was an issue. The other problem I had with Sbarro is I remember going on a friend's birthday to Sbarro in Eastland Mall in Evansville, and our my friend's brother, who was kind of our chaperone there, was trying to order a full pizza for us to go to the table, and the guy working there said, "I'm sorry, sir, we only sell it by the slice. We don't sell a full pizza." He said, "Well, how many slices are on the pizza?" And the guy's like, 6 or 8 or whatever he said. And he said, "Okay, well, I'll have 8 slices, of whatever." And the guy hands him a full pizza. Essentially, it's like, okay, dumbass, like it's ridiculous. But Sbarro's good. I liked it. I'll still, if I go again, it's mostly an airport type thing for me. I don't know that they're just randomly around elsewhere, but if it's there, I'll probably get it. I don't know that it's my favorite. I'll have it in the okay category. Schlotzsky's. I've only had Schlotzsky's a couple times. Didn't have it around growing up. Big city kind of thing. You go visit and you see it. It's like, oh, let's try it. It wasn't very memorable to me. I know we have one not too far from here, and I never sit there and go like, oh my gosh, I need to go there. And so I just would have it as not my favorite. I'm not gonna like go there and seek it out. I feel like it was pretty bland. Skyline Chili. And here's why we reserve the bad category. Some people swear by Skyline Chili. Cincinnati, it's the greatest thing ever. It's so cool. And it's a hot dog, it's a 3-way, you throw chili and noodles and whatever. It is terrible. I have had it 2 or 3 times. We used to have one downtown. The smell walking in was so bad. Like I could hardly even sit to eat there. I don't get it. I don't get it's like that's one of those things that makes me wonder sometimes if I'm in the Matrix where like they put this joke gig in there where it's like haha let's they'll just keep saying this is really good and he's gonna think like what the hell's wrong with those people. Well, they did, and that's what it is. So no, it doesn't make any sense, and no one would ever be able to argue me into believing a Skyline isn't just garbage. Okay, Sonic on a lighter note, I don't eat Sonic much. I haven't really had it. It's not my favorite. I like the concept. I like the drive-in thing. I like some of the food concepts of, you get your shake and you get your burger and stuff. If I went more recently, maybe I would move it up, but it's not my favorite. Like the couple times that I went, I'm like, the quality's just not good enough for me not to eat something else. I would rather get this thing at a different place. So that's just where I sit with Sonic. We had I think we briefly had one when I was growing up, but we also had another place that kind of replaced it that was more local, so we didn't have it a whole lot. And then the times that I've had it since, it's usually just of convenience that it happens to be there and I've pulled in. But yeah, it's not a place I'd go. Steak and Shake. So Steak and Shake was a bit of a luxury growing up. You go in, you dine in. You got the famous like smash burger look to the burgers. And I should say we do have smash burger here, and it's not on the list, but it's not my favorite, so I won't talk about it too much. It's kind of like Five Guys smash burgers. But Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake is it was the fries I always liked, the little thin fries, the double steak burger. This was another coupon place for me, like whether it's coupon, I say both ways, but Steak and Shake would get the Steak and Shake meals like $6.99. That was the coupon I would always get, and this was like right after college. This would have been probably in the early or late 2000s, early 2010s. And so that was a go-to for me. It's like you get it in the mail, you clip it out, you've got it. When is the expiration date? Okay, make sure you go then. The shake was always good. I'd get a chocolate. I always throw the cherry away. I'm not a cherry person. But I do like the chocolate shake, and then the double steak burger and fries. It went away. So Steak and Shake closed, and it was all over until it wasn't. It came back. There was one that opened not too far from here, and I'm like, we'll see. I don't know why it's opened again. It's a little expensive. I don't have coupons or anything now, but I think I would be willing to bet that whoever reopened it worked for Chick-fil-A. The way that they talk on the intercom, and they're very friendly, and it's, may I take your order, what's your name, that kind of stuff, I have a great day, feels very similar, which I liked. I mean, it was a nice welcome change on a Steak and Shake, which sometimes historically you'd sit there and wait for 45 minutes for your food at the drive-in or drive-through. So yeah, Steak and Shake is one of my favorites. I like Steak and Shake a lot. Now I don't know. We'll see if it stays up there, but if you're saying like, oh, I want to go get a good burger and fries, like that might be my favorite. You see that I don't really have that up here just yet, so that's probably my top. Subway. Ate Subway a lot as a kid. It's always prevalent. You go in, you got the giant map of subways, the subway lines on the wall. Turkey was my main thing growing up. Switched a little bit more to like meatball or Italian, I think at times. It's not my favorite, and it's too expensive today. It's good enough, but I'll tell you what the best part of Subway is their cookies. You get the meal with like 2 cookies. That's awesome. So I like Subway for that. And I'd almost go just get like a 6-inch meatball sub and a couple cookies because it's better than most other things. So I'll have it in the okay category. I used to like it more. I feel like the quality dipped a little bit, but who knows. Taco Bell. Okay, we've talked about the Qdobas, the Moe's, Chipotle. Taco Bell. I have had maybe 3 times in my life. I don't like Taco Bell. I just don't. I've had it multiple times. It is not my favorite. I won't say it's bad, but if you're telling me like, oh my gosh, we got to go somewhere, to get Mexican, this is the last place I'm going to say I want to go. Now it was back to what we said earlier. It was one of those, it's open late, let's go eat, 3:00 in the morning kind of things, but the food was not good. And I don't know, now it's expensive and to me not good, back then it was at least cheap, so you knew what you were getting. But yeah, it is not my favorite. Never been my favorite. I won't put it in bad because I don't think I'd like say we're not going there. But yeah, Waffle House. Waffle House is fun. Open 24/7. Had a few adventures where it's like, oh, that's the only thing we got open, but we love it. My mom and dad famously always joked they were going to retire and work at a Waffle House because they liked how they would call out orders and stuff and like cook and scatter, throw it out. But yeah, Waffle House is fun for what it is. I wouldn't say the food's great. I'll have it as okay. It's not up to the par of Denny's or IHOP or anything, but it's fun. I like the Waffle Houses around. Wendy's. Our Wendy's just closed. The Wendy's next to me closed. They kind of salvaged, I thought, themselves, but maybe they put themselves under. And I'm sure there's plenty of other Wendy's open, but it's like the $5 biggie bag was a good response coming out of like the inflation and COVID and everything. And McDonald's got way overpriced. And then all of a sudden you can go eat cheaper at Wendy's, and maybe you could for a while. I don't know. But I could get a decent amount of food in a biggie bag. I felt like I got like a few chicken nuggets. I got like a little burger. I would get a Frosty instead of a drink and fries. It was good. I wanted to go there the other day and it wasn't open. And I was like, shoot, it's closed. But Wendy's I had growing up, and I liked Wendy's growing up. They had the square burgers. Frosties were always good. The fries were good. The nuggets were good. I liked Wendy's a lot. So Wendy's was definitely my good category. Okay, White Castle. White Castle's one again, a little like Taco Bell. I didn't eat there a lot. It was open late. A lot of people go there. The quality's not great. Sliders are what they're famous for, but I like it better than Taco Bell. Now, some people would say, "Oh, I really like White Castle," and some people would say, "I hate it." But for me, it's okay. Like I'm not going to sit there and say, "Oh, we're gonna go to White Castle. We can't go." But I'm also not going to say like, "Oh, I'm excited to go to White Castle." Uh, it's okay. Now, I haven't been there in a while, so again, I should probably check it out and just try something and see if it's any different. But at least where I recall, that's about where it sits. Wingstop, I've only had a couple times. It's like newer around here. I figured I'd like stop in and try it. It's not my favorite. Um, it's okay, but it was not my favorite. I would not go get chicken there compared to a lot of other places, but maybe it's a cheap, not cheaper even, I don't know, but like a, Buffalo Wild Wings alternative. I'm not going to go sit down, but I'm going to go get Wingstop. I don't know, but maybe it's the sauce I get, maybe whatever, but yeah, I just wouldn't go there intentionally. And then Zaxby's. So Zaxby's is a chicken place. Um, I would say it was okay. I've had it. I had it not all that long ago. Uh, it was a lot of food. I will give it credit for that. Like they did give us a lot for what it cost. But I didn't sit there and go like, oh man, I wish I had this more than KFC, or I wish I had this more than Popeyes even. Now they're another place where it's like, oh, their sauces. I love their sauce. I didn't. It was okay. It's not my favorite. Okay, so I think that puts us here. If you notice, and I didn't intentionally do this, the top is really kind of, they're different types of places. The one argument you can make is like, oh, Dairy Queen does like burgers, Steak and Shake does burgers. Um, so I get that. I might split those two, but otherwise it's pretty like roast beef, chicken, fish, burger. So we'll start there. All right, going to the bottom and up, Skyline takes the cake. It just sucks, and it's going to stay down there. Blimpie, I would have farther down. I probably have Wingstop over Blimpie. Uh, I'd have Wingstop over Taco Bell. I just don't like Taco Bell. I just don't like it. Little Caesars, I would have down here. I just did not like it. I'll have it below Wingstop. Schlotzsky's below Wingstop. Schlotzsky's. I'd have Little Caesars over Schlotzsky's. Again, Schlotzsky's is a place where I haven't eaten a ton, and maybe there's like a sandwich that I would love there or whatever, but I just didn't try it. Uh, I liked Panera more when it was decent, but I still always felt like it was a little overpriced and everything. Panda Express, I just don't like. Um, I'm gonna have it down there. Boston Market, I don't like. I'm gonna have it down below Schlotsky's. Sonic, Panera, I will move down because I'd rather have hmm, Little C- Little Caesars today might be fine, man. It was just not good when I was eating it. And then Jersey Mike's, okay, I'm fine with that. Um, just considering if Jersey Mike's is really more of an okay to me because I don't mind it. I'd just rather have those other places. I'm gonna put it up here for now and see where it goes. Okay. Um, White Castle is probably toward the bottom of my okay. I'm not a White Castle person. Um, so Zaxby's would probably be down here. I would rather have. So I'm just gonna put the chicken ones together. I'd rather have Popeyes over those two, and I'd rather have Raising Cane's over Zaxby's. Jersey Mike's, I would probably have just above White Castle. Waffle House, I like breakfast, so I'm gonna move my White Castle up a little bit. Pizza Hut, Papa John's, In and Out. So In and Out, I haven't had a lot of. I'll move that down. Rallies, I'll move down. And then, oh, I forgot Bojangles. Bojangles, I'd have below Zaxby's. It's kind of the chicken order there, but I might split them up. So let's see. Popeyes over Rallies, no. In and Out Burger, Subway. So I'd have Subway probably over. I mean, just this is with history plus today. I'd probably have Subway over Potbelly. Sbarro Waffle House. So Pizza Hut, I don't like their pizza as much as Sbarro's, at least from years ago. Papa John's, I probably have. Uh, so Five Guys, I'm going to move down a bit. Five Guys, I'd have probably below In and Out Burger. And then Papa John's, I'll have. That's fine. We'll keep Waffle House up there because I like breakfast. Okay, the goods. All right, now we've got some tough decisions to make. Firehouse is probably farther down. IHOP's probably a little farther down. Culver's maybe a little farther down. We'll start there. See where we go. All right. Okay, I'll do the grills, the Mexican grills, and figure out that order. Moe's, you got Moe's, Qdoba, and Chipotle. I think Qdoba's my favorite. I think Chipotle's probably second, but it could switch. I mean, those are all a little interchangeable to me. All right. Wendy's, I probably got higher. And then let's see sandwich places. So Firehouse, Penn Station, Quiznos. Um, I think I'm fine with that order. Yeah, I'm fine with that order. Then you got Denny's and IHOP. So Denny's, I'd have over IHOP, but that's more of like the legacy of eating at Denny's more. I would rather like go sit at a Denny's for some reason. Now I haven't been in a little bit, but brand preference, I guess. All right, and then okay. Um, the only thing that was like pausing in my head is I don't really have a pizza place at the top, and I don't know that I have a pizza place up at the top because I always struggle with like where if I want to get a pizza, where would I get a pizza from, and I don't really ever have a great answer. Um, so maybe it just doesn't deserve to be up there. All right. Anyway, I will bring Steak and Shake back down. Um, and then Culver's would be. Let's just put it there. Okay, I think I figured it out. I'm gonna do a row below and call this. And I know the colors are all off, but that's okay. I'll call these great. And I don't mean they're like super high quality or anything, but they're of a higher tier than some of these others. So Steak and Shake is a higher tier to me. Um, I will. You know what? I'm gonna give McDonald's that credit just more so for the breakfast right now and for what I used to eat there. I did like it a lot, and I did eat it a lot. Wendy's I would have up there, and I think I'd have KFC up there. Okay, and then Burger King would be like up there when it's at its peak. Um, I probably have Qdoba up there. Hardee's, I prefer over A&W. Domino's. Um, I mean, the reality is I eat Domino's or Papa John's more than Domino's now, but I think it's just a matter of like convenience. Jimmy John's, I'd have over a couple of these, but it's not like super great. Chipotle, I'd have over Moe's over. So A&W, Domino's, Penn Station, Quiznos. Okay, I'm a little wrong. Like if I think historically, I just haven't in a while. I would rather have Quiznos over Jimmy John's. Now I would rather have Penn Station over Jimmy John's. Um, and then A&W, Domino's, Culver's, Firehouse, Denny's, IHOP, and then a Waffle House. Okay, I'm not that bad there. All right, KFC and great, Wendy's, McDonald's, Steak and Shake. I'd rather have Steak and Shake over McDonald's. I'd rather have. It's like how much do you factor in the breakfast factor? Because it's good. Like I will get McDonald's breakfast, um, and I don't. It's not like I hate their. It's not great. The quality feels like it's not as good, but I'd eat their dinner and stuff. Um, but Wendy's has the $5 basket. KFC's got. I'm fine with KFC being toward the bottom there. I still like have some inconsistency struggles with their food right now. Um, man, just today I'd eat Wendy's over McDonald's. It's just it's a tricky one with the breakfast. Okay, Long John Silver's, Dairy Queen, Chick Fil A, Arby's. Some of this I have to be careful because there is a scarcity bias here. I cannot get Long John Silver's much, which is frustrating. But that said, I'm sure if I had it all the time, I'd get a little bit more tired of it. But it's darn good. You get the two fish meal. You got the little crispy things at the bottom. The hush puppies and the fries are good. Dairy Queen, like I said, is more of a something I eat very frequently. Chick-fil-A is a little bit of the. Um, I don't eat it as much, but I'm gonna have Chick-fil-A at the bottom of those. Long John Silver's, Dairy Queen, Arby's. I'm gonna move Arby's. Uh, man, I don't know. I don't get Arby's a ton just because it's so expensive. Like I think I'd eat Arby's a lot more if it wasn't so darn expensive. Um, I can talk myself into Long John's being a little over Dairy Queen. I just get it more. And then, man, an Arby. Okay, I'm gonna keep Arby's there because I still their fish sandwich is so good for me. Some people probably hate it, but yeah, I like it during that season. And then if I had it in here, I would have Fazoli's, and Fazoli's would be up here, and probably have Fazoli's third. If there was a question of like where does Fazoli sit, I'd probably have it third. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I could talk myself into some differences here. I just reading them, I'm like, oh, but I'd rather have this. But kind of it's like, what am I hungry for? It's about dinner time. So that plays a bias into, but I think this is the list. So again, just avoid Skyline and your life should be fine. Otherwise, yeah, this is it.